The New England Patriots just hinted at their next smart move. Let's talk about it. My name is Aaron on the daily Patriots content. Don't miss out. All you got to do, subscribe, notification bell, boom, hit the like button. And I guarantee it. At the end of the episode, you're going to say, yeah, boom, that's worth a like, that's worth a subscribe, especially after what I have to talk about when it comes to the playoffs for the New England Patriots. But on the front end of the episode, what we need to be jumping into, Boutte, injury update, what that looks like moving forward, Mike Vrabel, what he had to say about it, and the future for the Patriots, specifically when we look at later today, 4 p.m., the trade deadline, boom, it's kaput, it's done. Can't make any more trades. After that, it's, hey, is there any veteran free agents that we could pick up? So what is the move that the Patriots are hinting at? Let's jump right into it. First and foremost, Boutte. As of right now, Mike Vrabel has said he is day to day. He said, I don't see him practicing earlier in the week. We'll see where that gets us late in the week. And let's know. Is a big game this weekend coming up against Tampa Bay, which I will say later this week, I got something cooking, special guest coming on the show. We will see. Get excited. But that being said, we'll be talking about the Bucs, and that is going to be a tough game. Even though they have a ton of injuries, they are still a solid team that is not to be taken lightly. But beside the point, Boutte, day to day, we know he's been one of Drake May's favorite targets. So the good news before we jump into what the Patriots are really kind of pushing at, hinting at, is it seems like down the road, hopefully within the next week or so, Boutte will be all right. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, what about Christian Gonzalez? Remember when he messed up his hamstring, he was out for way, way, way too long. Sure, people heal differently. Things look different. I truly believe if Mike Vrabel didn't think he was going to truly be day-to-day, I think something would have been said. And if it was really as bad as it was, I think he would have just been, potentially thrown on the IR. Now, I know that's probably a little extreme for a hamstring, but when it comes down to it, I think it's optimistic. Boutte has the potential to really progress this week and potentially play against the Bucs. Now, I'm not saying that's a guarantee. I'm not saying that's what they're hinting at, but all I'm trying to say is it seems like this injury is not as bad as it could have been. Let's just say this. Look at Jaden Daniels the other day. Not ideal. Look at Cam Scadaboo the week before. There's been some rough injuries where you ain't coming back. You ain't coming back. So again, though it was tough that he didn't get a target, he got pulled from the game because of his injury. They still got the win, and he has a potential to come back soon. So that's first what we got to talk about, the good thing. Now, specifically, one of the big talks has been around, simply put, in the trade deadline, what should the Patriots do? And I asked you guys that yesterday. Hey, if they could get anyone, which is funny because a lot of people said Myles Garrett. Well, of course, you're going to take Myles Garrett. That's like saying, okay, listen, you can take any amount of money you want in the world. What are you going to take? And you're going to be like, I'm going to take the most. It's like that's no. That's what's going to happen. And so, but anyways. A lot of people said wide receiver. A lot of people said Chris Olave. A lot of people threw in Brian Thomas Jr. and the whole idea, hey, he can be double guarded. All these different things helps open up different things. So there's different kind of concept ideas around each wide receiver. But the big question I posed was, okay, if that is the case, then down the road, someone's going to have to lack receptions down the road. And sure, it is game to game. Some people made some solid points. It is game to game, depending on targets and what you get and all these different things. We saw it earlier in the season. Pop Douglas didn't get a lot. And then as we transition through the season, he has progressed. He has done better. He's been in the end zone multiple times, and he's made the most of his opportunities. So it can fluctuate. It's not always the exact same. But what I love to see here, and I truly believe this is a hint towards what the Patriots are doing when it comes to the trade deadline. Because as I've said, my biggest priorities, what I think the biggest priorities are edge rusher, depth at cornerback. I think those are the biggest things as we move on to the season, especially into the playoffs, which we'll talk about more shortly. So he said this about Kyle Williams, the rookie from Washington State. I'm excited that he'll probably get an opportunity here, a little greater opportunity going forward. And then at the bottom, he continues. He said he had to play a lot of different positions there, a lot of moving parts. He's talking about Washington State. It's just a lot of different personnel groups and alignments. And so I think he settled down, and I think that he'll get an opportunity here moving forward. Kyle should be ready to go for us. Now, a lot of us have been very hesitant on Kyle Williams. That is because if we jump into his stats real quick, the lack of production that he's had 6 targets, he's had 2 catches for 20 yards. And there's been a couple times he's been out there where it has not looked ideal. Now, granted, we can conclude a couple things from that. One is he is a rookie. It is not always common to see a rookie necessarily thrown right out there. You have some solid options in front of him, and Stephon Diggs, Kayshon Boutte, though injured, obviously. We'll talk about that in a second. Mac Hollins, two solid tight ends. So there's a lot of potential in front of him. So that's one. A lot of solid production in front of him. But 2, Mike Vrabel coming out, and I love how Mike Vrabel does this. The man's not going to sit there and chop you down and feed you to the wolves and make you look like crap. He says, we got him for a reason. He's a weapon, just like TreVeyon Henderson. When everyone was down on TreVeyon Henderson, he continues to say there's a reason we got him. We believe in him moving forward. Mike Vrabel makes you believe in these players, and he makes these players believe in themselves. So Kyle Williams, I truly believe, is the answer to these wide receiver issues. Even though the other day, I will admit, I said I didn't think he was. But if Mike Vrabel is coming out and saying he's going to get more opportunity, we see him growing and being ready for us, then I see that as the case. And I think that is him saying we are not looking for, like, sure, again, I will always concede. If there's something that can make this team better, and there's a wide receiver opportunity, I'm not saying that's always a no. I'm not saying that's a 100% no. But I think looking at this and his comments here, he is leaning towards Kyle Williams is the answer at wide receiver. They drafted him. They believe in him. Moving forward, if Kayshon Boutte can't go, they're gonna rely on Kyle Williams to get some more playing time at wide receiver. And let's not forget the man at Washington State. You go look at his production at Washington State. It was off the charts. It was great to watch. And on top of that, of these wide receivers, and obviously Kayshon Boutte has more than once gone over top of these secondaries that they've played, and Drake May has dropped it into the basket. Kyle Williams has that ability, that crazy vertical threat. He has the speed. He has it. The question is, can we get that going on the field? Can we get that to show, out of this young rookie guy? And I will say this, we've seen last year, Polk and Baker, they're gone. I really want Kyle Williams to pan out because he has potential. And a lot of people going into this season, Kyle Williams was a big name that was drafted that was, hey, I'm ready to watch him play, ready to watch him play, ready to watch him play. So again, I think this is a big hint towards that Mike Vrabel is making towards Kyle Williams, saying, here's our answer. This is what we're going to do. And we're going to look elsewhere when it comes to potential trades in edge rushers, in cornerbacks. And again, you might laugh at me. You might say I'm wrong. I know I say that a lot, but I don't care. It's what I think. So comment below. Tell me what you think about Kyle Williams. Do you believe in him moving forward? Yes or no? What are your thoughts on Mike Vrabel? What are your thoughts on Kayshon Boutte? Whatever you want to say about this wide receiver room. And you might say, Aaron, pause. I actually still believe they need to get a wide receiver. That's fine. Comment below. Let's hear about it. So that is my first thought. Next up, when we look at the playoff picture for the Patriots right now, after week 9 in their victory against the Atlanta Falcons. And I also just want to shout out a big thanks to John Parker Romo. You know why. I got a buddy who's a Falcons fan, and I texted him. I said, you're welcome for giving you John Parker Romo. But regardless, win's a win. But we look at this real quick. And all I got to ask Patriots fans, all I got to ask you is this. At the beginning of the season, if you were to tell me midway through the season that the Patriots would have the best odds to make it to the playoffs, I'll be real with you. I'm going to level with you. I would have thought you were crazy, truly crazy. Now we are sitting after 9 games at 7-2, and the Patriots right now have the best chance to make the postseason at 97%. The second highest odds are the Philadelphia Eagles. Oh, that's my fault. Those odds are the highest in conference at the moment. The second only 2, that's my fault. So that is the highest in the AFC. That's my fault. I apologize. So the highest being in the NFL is the Philadelphia Eagles at 98. In the NFC, obviously, but in the AFC, the Patriots have the best chance. And what is crazy right now, if you look at the postseason, and granted, we're halfway. There's a lot of football left to play. A lot of things can happen on multiple fronts. But the Kansas City Chiefs right now are sitting on the bubble. So let me see if I can pull this up for us. Make it look a little better for you. Here we go. Boom. Exit out there. No, can't exit. Hang on with me. Hang on. We're going to scroll up. So we look at this picture. Right now you have the Colts, who are just on a crazy tear, even though they lost to the Steelers this past week. Patriots, Broncos, Steelers at 5-3. Bills, Chargers, Jags, and then you look on the bubble, the Chiefs, the Texans, and the Ravens. Obviously, Kansas City looking the best right now on the bubble, but they are in a tough division with the Chargers as well as the Broncos. So I like at the bottom it says not technically eliminated, but let's be real here, and then it drops all these other teams. So we look at this right now, and they're looking well. They're looking up. And notice, I will always point out, the Patriots still get to play the Dolphins. They still get to play the Jets twice. They get to play the Bengals. They get to play, I can't remember who else. I know there's some other teams. I can't think of off the top of my head. But let's just say things are looking up for the Patriots. So my question for you is this. At the beginning of the season, I said I think there's a wild card playoff push. And I don't think I know people were saying you're being way too optimistic, Aaron. You're being way too optimistic. At this point, what are your thoughts in the season after I tell you that stat, that the Patriots have the 97% chance to make the playoffs, most in the AFC? Just tell me your thoughts, your reactions. Would love to hear from you. So comment below. As I said, potential special guest coming up this week. Don't miss out on that. Hit the sub button as always. Hit the like button. We'll talk later, and maybe we'll drop another video depending on what the heck happens with the trade deadline. So we will talk later. Have a good one. Peace.